See, I was never into this ascension business for the means of trying to figure anyone else out. Or receive any, wealth or validation from other people on social media. Just never in it for any of that. See, when I knew that I was sick, was when I had to wear a physical mask, chastity belt on my lingam, and I couldn't keep up with the persona anymore. And I just knew that whatever was making me feel or making me sense that it didn't feel right. That it didn't feel right for me to be in a male body, and that my sexual expression didn't matter from the age of 13 to 20. That I was never meant to be engaged with another woman or have children, and all of these thought insertions that were put into my framework. That I knew that as that was occurring at some deep level, that was going to be my gift and my way through this, my keys. But I got into this because I wondered why someone like my mother could be so bright and so pure as I was a child, from 1 to 5, 6 years old, in how she could be manipulated somehow by a husband and by a culture to work and prove herself into sickness. And why it was that I witnessed her lost in her dreams and just wanting to go sleep and take long naps, and what that was all about, and that possession, and why she never felt what I now know as that orgasmic energy, that full bliss, and that matrimony within, mirrored with the marriage with outside her, with her significant other. So that was always it for me. It was what would get someone to want to give their life force over that much and be that confused and lost in the dream. And ever since then, I spent 8 months alone. I wasn't in this for anyone else. People talk about their first dark night of the soul. My first dark night of the soul was 3 months long. I was in a room. It was like I was in a mental hospital. After that 8 months alone, I met someone. She felt like the missing piece to my soul. No such thing. My soul is whole and alone, but even now, it's like that was 3 years ago that I met her, and 2.5 years since I've seen her since, and it's like I still communicate with her. And like, even as I'm ready now to, it's generally said that this can be made as a blank statement of exclamation, that I'm ready to let go of my family, but I'm truly at that point where I'm 99% unfinished, and it's like loading the final 1% of sovereignty, but more so at this moment, sovereignty is an attainment that's, a few years in the works, but the emotional and the emotional, financial, and mental emancipation is here right now, and I'm ready to make the jump. And it's like that final string really is, for it's that significant other program. It's that binary, well, I guess bind that, I somewhat made to have someone else in the female form supposedly to role play and inter-exchange and extrapolate off of, reflect. So, it's tough moving forward from that, but I moved through the culture, the aspect of it, and I was really divided, split between that persona of old culture and new culture. And then it was like, the home living situation, grandparents. And then it was like, like the family and like healing that grief and all that fear and blame, shame, guilt from my dad. And now it's like letting go of my mother and letting her know that like that's exactly her path that she's meant to be on, and she's healed tremendously, but any more suffering that she's meant to face. And and a little bit before that, I forgot to mention, it's like the soul family that I came into knowing, moving forward from them. And now it really is that final strand, is this supposed, I don't know if it's twin soul or whatever it is, but it's like this strange thing, and it's deeply interrelated with my own sexuality, but I'm ready. So thank you for listening. Even if we're on month 4 of 18 of Sovereignty 2020, and for June of next year, and really mastery. It's really about mastery for me these next 18 months, and I've given it all away multiple times, give it all up to receive it all. And now it's like completing the final foundational stones and springing forth into these multiple worlds at the center of my Tantian and my solar plexus, this inoculus, this child that is self, this perfected, stranded child. So wholeness and balance vibration.